Coil Pots. I videotaped a demonstration that I did in class, so this one's going to sound a little different than usual, but this is what 4th grade is going to be working on this year. Enjoy! Alright, so here we go. I've got microphones all over the place. I'm taping this so that it'll go on the YouTube channel, but it will have none of your talking on it, so don't worry about that. This is what we're going to start making for our clay project. Zoom students! You're just going to watch, and then when you get in here, you'll be able to work with the clay. In the meantime, you can just hang out and see what we're doing. Shh, we're not talking now. So we're all going to get a piece of clay about yo big. Probably like that. And what we're going to make this year is called a coil pot. So it's going to be something that you could probably use, but not necessarily use for drinking, because a lot of times these coils, as you can see, don't fit tightly together. Can you see it? Wait, let me make it smaller. There you go. So you can't really put your juice or water in it. You just kind of put pencils and stuff in it like so. Right? Now, how do you do this? Well, the first thing you have to decide on is what shape you're going to make for the base. Now, that can be any shape you like. It can be something like recognizable. You can say square, rectangle, triangle, or it can just be a random shape. That would be something that we would call organic, where it's just kind of any shape that you want to draw. When you do that, if you guys could pay attention, that'd be awesome. When you do that, you're going to take your hand and you're going to push it down with your hand till it's just about as flat as you like, and then you're going to have a rolling pin at your table. Now mine is tiny because I'm only working in a small area here. And we're just going to roll it out a little bit. Make sure that you keep picking it up and flipping it over, because it will stick to the paper that you've got under there. Once you've got an idea of what shape you want, then you can use any of the tools to cut it out. And that'll be the base of your project, right? Coils are snakes. If you think about all the things you ever did when you were using Play-Doh as a little kid, it's just a coil snake. It's not too fancy, it's just a coil snake. What I do want you to do is I do want you to do some extra smoothing on this so that we're sure it's not going to fall apart. Now, while I make this next coil, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I have that coil that's going to go right about there. Now, I like the way this looks. I like being able to see the lines and the grooves, but I don't want the coil happening in the inside. So what I want to do is in the inside, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to smooth that together. So I'm sure that that coil is not going to jump off the top. Last year we talked about doing that zipper step. Remember where we did the scratch marks on both sides and we kind of connected the clay with a tiny drop of water? Yes. But we don't need to do that today because this is very soft. Next time when you come to class, then we're going to talk about the zipper again. Try to do 3 or 4 coils all the way around to build up your height. And once you've got it about 3 or 4 coils high, then we can start talking about getting fancy. So let's talk about the fancy stuff. What are these? These are just coils rolled up into different areas. So this is a little spiral, right? I added some little round balls in the center so it fills up the space. This coil goes back and forth and back and forth. This coil up here goes over a bump and under a bump. If we get to that point, you can start making your coils a little thinner than you have been so that it will fill up some space. So here's the second coil if I'm going to do a spiral, right? And I would just stick him on like that. But let's focus on just making the base first before we get to the fancy stuff, okay? Here would be a coil that goes over and under. Over, right? See how that goes? Okay, now, pretend I rang the bell. Ding, ding, class is over. I have a piece of clay. I have a project started, and I'm going to get a plastic container. These are just plastic butter dishes. I've had these for about 50 years. You're going to put your project, all your extra clay that you have left, in your container. You're going to put your lid on, make sure it's nice and tight, and then a piece of masking tape right across the top with your name. This is how we can store it till next time so it stays nice and moist. So what are you going to make? Well, that's up to you. But your goal is a project that is at least 3 inches high. So we're going to get out some rulers and you're going to find the 3-inch mark and you want to make sure that it's at least 3 inches high. How big is my project? A little over 4, so that's good. You can keep going. But between 3 inches and 12 inches. Let's stop at 12 inches. Don't make it any taller than 12 inches. That's ceramics in 4th grade. Thanks for visiting the art room.